See, it really works. It really like life-changing experience. What's up, guys? I am back with another video, and this video is going to be on dental hygiene again. So if you guys haven't seen my first video on dental hygiene, then go ahead and click the link in the description box down below. I'll have it there for you. But this video was requested from this user right here, so thank you so much. And I'm just going to go ahead and get right into it. So let's first talk about prerequisites to get into the program. So you pretty much have to do all your general education, and then on top of that you have to do so many science classes. I'm talking about different biologies, different chemistries, anatomy, physio, microbiology, physiology. Did I say that already? There's too many ologies. You just have to take so many science classes. So if that's not your thing, don't be scared, because it wasn't my thing either, but I got through it. Right out of high school, I wanted to go straight for dental hygiene. I told myself when I was a senior in high school, what the heck am I gonna do with my life? Like, it's time. When you're young like that, you think when you graduate high school that you're an adult and you're like grown, but looking back, it's like, you know, you're still a little kid. Yeah, so when I was a senior in high school, I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with myself now that I was going to be an adult. And I always wanted to do dental hygiene just because it was always a pleasant experience when I would go. I've never had extensive work done on my teeth, so it was always like a routine, easy, you know, calm experience when I would go. And I would always hear that dental hygienists made good money. So I said, you know what, this seems like a good career option for me. So I went to community college right after high school, and I started taking my general education, and then also started taking some of those science classes that I needed to. So I started with, I think, chemistry and biology on top of some of my general education classes. And I think it was the end of the first, going into the second year maybe, where I got into anatomy, and I just wasn't sure if it was something I wanted to do anymore, because anatomy was like kind of the beginning of like the tougher science classes that we were going to have to take, and I just was already not wanting to do it. And so I remember studying late one night, and I ended up waking up late for school. And it's like a freaking movie. I never saw myself being that type of person, because I'm usually like pretty easy to wake up to my alarm. But I guess I didn't hear it, or actually just really didn't care about this class and didn't want to do dental hygiene anymore. So pretty much I woke up late, I rushed to school, and the teacher had a note on the door that said, "Do not come in, a test is being taken." So I had to wait outside, and then finally when the test was done, and the class was over, I went to my teacher's office, and he basically told me, you might as well drop out because you missed the first test and there's no way of making it up. And in my head, I'm just like, you know what, you're freaking right, I don't even want to be here anyways. So that's pretty much what happened. I took that as a sign, and I was like, you know what, I'm not happy doing this. I can't do science classes. Who do I think I am? So I decided to do art, and I've always loved art. I love makeup, I love drawing, painting, whatever. So I decided, let me go ahead and do that route. So I went ahead and got my associates in studio arts, and that was a total 180, because you're taking painting classes, you're taking ceramics, you're taking, even art history was fun. It's just all these fun classes. It doesn't seem like school. So I enjoyed that for about 2 years, and then it was like, okay, are you gonna continue on to your art path, or are you not sure because you don't think you're gonna be able to make money that way? Which I started thinking, you know what, I'm not that amazing, it takes a lot. I wasn't really into the digital art. So it would take a lot for me to make an actual living off of art. So I started thinking back about dental hygiene, and I was like, you know what? I think I need to go back and stop playing. So from that moment on, I told myself, I'm gonna do this. I need to work hard, and I did. So I took all these science classes, and I'm not gonna lie, like I was doing amazing. Like for myself, amazing, because just school or science classes are not my thing, and I was getting good grades and I was so proud of myself. So that takes me to finally finishing all my prerequisites, and then it was time to apply to schools. So around my area, I think I had about 4 to 5 schools that offered a dental hygiene program. The one that was the furthest away was about an hour, a little over an hour away. So I just applied to all of them. And if you guys don't know, most of the dental hygiene programs, at least in my area, are lottery based. So you might want to check your area to see how people are chosen to get into the program. So what I mean by lottery based, it basically means like the luck of the draw. So you could literally be waiting years after you apply, and every year you have to keep applying, and your name like gets put in a hat, and then they just choose randomly. So that's how most of them are chosen. And these classes are really small. I think they could be as little as 15 people all the way up to maybe like 25 would be the highest. So these are really small programs, and there's a lot of people applying to these programs, so you could really be waiting a long time. Now, thankfully, one of the programs that I did apply to, which I had no idea, their program was picked based off of your GPA. So thankfully, I had really good grades, and that is the program I got picked to be a part of. So I was lucky enough to get picked the first time around, and I didn't have to reapply the next year. And I just felt so lucky. You know, I was like, okay, all my hard work has paid off. I'm getting into the program after all these years, and I only had to apply once, and it was just amazing. I felt so blessed. So the program I got picked to go to was about an hour away, and school was Monday through Friday. I just told myself I would be commuting every single day, but thankfully last minute pretty much, my brother and his girlfriend had a house that was about 20 minutes away from the school. So I was lucky enough to be able to get a room in their house, and so I pretty much stayed there for the 2 years I was going to the school. I was so blessed and appreciative that I was able to stay closer. So my program was for 20 people, and it ended up being 20 girls. The classes before us had males in it, and then also the class after us had boys in it, and for some reason our class was the only class in years that had all girls, and I just don't understand it. It's almost like the Lord is trying to keep the guys away from me, and he just doesn't want me to have any eye candy. So it just ended up working out because, you know, usually a group of girls, there's bound to be cattiness or whatever, but for the most part we all got along amazingly, and I just felt so lucky because we really all meshed well together. Let me just say that the 2 years in this program were like 2 of the best years of my life. And even though I did so many years of college beforehand, nothing compared to this experience. Like, I finally had like my college experience while being in this program. I did make lifelong friendships that I still have. Obviously, I just graduated in May of 2018, so we still hang out, we still text, we still like invite each other to places. So if you guys are really contemplating becoming a dental hygienist, just know that the 2-year program, it's gonna be like the hardest but the funnest and most fulfilling 2 years of your life. Okay, so a little bit about the program. So the first semester and the third semester, I would say, are going to be the hardest. The first semester, just because you're learning so many new things. For me, I had no prior experience. I never was a receptionist. I never was an assistant. I never worked in a dental office or a medical office whatsoever. So I had no knowledge at all or any experience. So some of the girls in the program were assistants, and some were actually hygienists in their home country. But when they moved to America, they had to re-enter a program in order to get licensed here. So there was like a wide range of experience. There was also a wide range of age. Some girls continued to work throughout the program, and some just focused solely on the program. So it's just up to you. Some had kids, some ended up having kids during the program, some were able to get married during the program. For me, I had to just solely focus on the program just because school is not my thing. So I knew I had to just give it 100%. And focus on that. So let's talk about some of the courses you have to take throughout the 2-year program. This isn't in any particular order, but you have to take radiology, you have to take anatomy, you have to take pharmacology, you have to take local anesthesia, there's basic dental hygiene. There's so many different little courses that you have to take throughout the 2 years. I'm just having a brain fart right now, but those are some of the main ones. So when I first decided to be a dental hygienist, I had no idea that we were able to give local anesthesia, or basically give injections. And when I heard that, I was like, am I in the right profession? Like, am I gonna be able to do this? I didn't know this was part of the deal, because like I said, I never had extensive work done where I would need shots in my mouth, and I wasn't prepared for these little hands to give shots in people's mouths. But I did it, and I'm doing it. So don't let that discourage you. It is a scary thing, but you're gonna be fine, and you're gonna be able to do it. Another thing about the program is not only just learning, but also hands-on experience. So it was the second semester when we started bringing in patients, and in my particular program, it was our job to bring in patients. Some programs provide patients for you, but I actually had to bring in my own patients, and for me, it was a little difficult just because, like I said, my school was an hour away from my home, so my family would have to travel, my friends would have to travel, but thankfully they're all amazing, so most of them did it for me. But just when you start seeing patients for the first time, it's just so scary because you're learning all this stuff, and then you're like, okay, now I have an actual human being in my chair, like, now I have to put it all together. The appointments for seeing patients while in the program, at least in my program, were 2.5 hours long. So I would have to ask people to come be my patient, and they had to be willing to stay there for 2.5 hours. Mind you, most patients on average would have to come 3 times. So that's a huge commitment for someone to ask. So that was kind of part of the challenge for us. It was just finding patients that were willing to do all of that. So obviously it's good dental care because we're very thorough for a very discounted price. So that's a good selling point for people. But if, like for me, for my family who actually have their own dentist that they go to, they were just trying to help me out. So it was just hard for them to be like, first off, you want me to drive an hour to your school, and then you want me to sit there for 2.5 hours, and you want me to come multiple times? Wow, you tripping. But you know what? I graduated, and here, look at me now. So I'm just blessed to have amazing people in my life like this one right here. Speaking of, one of my friends from the program is hitting me up, actually my bestie from the program, and she's asking me what I'm doing tomorrow. See, it really works. It really like life-changing experience. Okay, let me put her on mute. If I didn't make this clear, this program was the best time of my life. Of me being someone who is just so shy, it takes a lot for me to become comfortable with people, but because I was with these girls every single day for 2 years, I was able to be myself and open up. And I feel like I became like the jokester of the group. Probably people wouldn't agree, but I feel like I was a jokester. And fun story, for our graduation, the class had to nominate somebody to speak at the graduation. And guess who they chose to speak? And I'm telling you, like, it's crazy because I am so shy. And the fact that they nominated me to speak at the graduation was mind-blowing to me, but also like a huge honor, because like I said, for them to pick me, it's not like we wrote our names on like a piece of paper and like people raised their hand for who they wanted. No, like they literally called me by name and were like, Brittany, you should be the speaker. And I'm just like, are you tripping or what? But it was a huge honor, and I took that so serious because not only was it a huge experience for me to speak at my graduation, but just having these girls that believed in me and felt that I could deliver was amazing. And thankfully, I feel like the speech went pretty well. I had people laughing, so that's a good thing. Also, throughout the program, I'm just going like all over the place, so I hope you guys are okay with this, but it's just like trying to describe the best experience of your life with the best memories ever and just like not get so excited and just jump everywhere. It's really hard to not do that. So another thing throughout the program we did, and this was more towards the second year, we started going on rotation. So not only were we seeing patients at our clinic at the school, but we would also go to actual dental offices and work there for the day. Not getting paid, obviously, but you would work there for the day rather than be at school. So we started doing that the second year, and for me, I felt like it was a waste of time because it gave me anxiety. It gave most of us anxiety, and it just wasn't realistic. I guess it could be realistic. It just depends on what type of dental hygienist you want to be. Just for me and what I wanted, it just wasn't realistic to me, and it just gave me such anxiety every time I had to go to a different dental office, because you're getting thrown into a new environment that you have no idea where anything is. Most of the time, the whole staff is busy. They don't have any time to help you. And it's almost like you have to fend for yourself, but also having to work on a patient that for most of the time I couldn't really communicate with just because of a language barrier. And then compared to the 2.5 hours you had at the school, now you have to kind of, for the most part, see a patient every hour. It was just a lot to handle, and it just gave me high anxiety, and I could have done well without those rotations, but it was part of the program. You had to do it to graduate, so that's what we did. So just prepare yourself for that. And then also, when you're learning local anesthesia, we are practicing on each other. So when you're learning all the different injections and all of that, you first do it on your classmates, and then eventually you start doing it on your patients that you bring into the clinic, or sometimes you would actually have to do it when you went on rotation. Let's talk about testing. So the fourth semester, the final semester, is basically when you do all of your testing for my program in particular, because I know there's some programs that you would have to graduate first and then you would take your test, but for my program we actually took our test during the program and then we graduated, if that makes sense. So the first test that we took were the written national boards, and it's basically on the computer. You go to a facility wherever you choose and then you take it on the computer. There were like so many questions, I can't even remember how many questions there are, but it takes hours to take. And then there's also a clinical. So for the clinical national boards, you have to bring in a patient that fits all the requirements, and you guys will learn more about that in the program. They have to fit all the requirements, and then you basically have to clean a part of their mouth, and then if you successfully clean it, then you pass. So then those are the tests you have to pass, and then you also have to pass the program. So you have to meet all the requirements, you have to meet all the credits, you have to pass all the finals, you have to do all of that, you have to get all the patients that you need, just all the requirements done, and then you can graduate from the program. And then after you do all three of those things, then the last thing you have to take is a law and ethics exam, just for the state that you're in. And once you pass that, then you can become officially licensed as a dental hygienist. This video is really long. And like I said, it's jumping all over the place, but what I want you guys just to get out of this is I did not have any experience prior. I was not a science person, I was not a school person, but I worked my way to finally getting into the program. And then little did I know that the next 2 years of my life were going to be the best years of my life. And the program was just a hard experience, challenging in many ways, but also fulfilling and rewarding in even more ways. So just know that if you're thinking of being a dental hygienist, it is a great career. It's a great experience to go through the program. I don't want to sit here and say that dental hygiene is my whole life, because it's not. Like, I am blessed to be able to work 3 days and then still have my own life and enjoy that. But dental hygiene, I am very blessed to have in my life, and I'm thankful that it's my career. So I am very much in support of dental hygiene, and if you guys have any questions, I want to help you guys out as much as I can. So please, if you have another dental hygiene topic video you want me to do, let me know in the comments. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. If you guys want me to talk a little bit more about seeing patients in the program and what a 2.5 hour appointment look like, I can do that. If you guys want to hear more about radiology and taking x-rays, I can do that. If you guys want to hear more about like the drama, no, I'm just kidding, there was no drama. Not really. But yeah, just anything you guys want to hear about or know more about, I'm here to help you, because I mean, I just want to help you. I mean, isn't that what people should do, is just help each other? I think it's late and I just got off of work, which is why I'm like cuckoo. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you out, and I hope I didn't annoy you too much, but I appreciate you guys watching. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe, and as always, remember to stay bold, beautiful, and blessed.